It's perfectly designed alongside the trophy.
Hope all is well with you.
This is our football. That's pretty much has been the story so far, Devin, in terms
So,
of what
it's the
is
Gold Cup
the
draw,
Gold Cup. It's our
and
tournament.
I'm
It is
going
a
to be doing
tournament of
my live
decisions, a
reaction
tournament
to
of
it
CONCACAF.
as it
So we'll have
unfolds.
the preliminary draw. So it's
So,
our time to start
we're going to have the
looking
preliminary
how
draw
this
first,
tournament
and then
is
we'll
going to
get
play
into the
out
main action,
with
and I
24
give
national
my
teams
thoughts
leading
about it,
themselves
really.
into a tournament that will have a trophy in 2019, 2021 now.
All right, here we go.
El camino hacia la Copa Oro. The path to the
A bit of-
2021 CONCACAF Gold
A bit
Cup
of
began with the
translation,
inaugural
and
edition of the
so on
CONCACAF
is going
Nations
on
League.
first from a CONCACAF perspective, because
introduction
we
of the
have
new
different
tournament
languages in
that
our
serves
region.
as
We
the
have
pathway to the
Dutch playing
2021 Gold
nations,
Cup,
Spanish playing
representing
nations,
a new
French
era of
playing
football
nations, and
for
English.
our
So
confederation.
yeah, so at this point in time, we're
The
going
2019
to.
CONCACAF Nations
They're going to
League
do the
group stage
preliminaries
was usually
first. So these are the
successful.
teams that haven't qualified for the Gold Cup as yet,
During the
but
FIFA
teams that are
match
on the
windows
cusp of doing
September,
so. And
October,
after
and
that, they'll
November
get into the
2019,
group
all
stage
41
format.
CONCACAF
So
member
just
associations
hang with me,
battled for
guys.
first spot in the
If you have any
2021
questions, you
Gold
can
Cup.
drop in. But Jamaica's name won't be
After
pulled out of the
102
pot for
memorable group
at
stage
least another
matches,
couple of
League A
minutes. For
winners,
right now, they're just
second-place
explaining the
finishers,
permutations
as
of
well
the
as the
draw
League B
and
winners,
how things
became
are
the
going to
first
pan
of
out
12
where that is
national
concerned.
teams
So
qualified
I'm just going to
for
make
the
some notes,
2021
and
Gold
if there's
Cup
any
group
questions, I
stage.
will come to it. All right, guys? So
The
and just
exciting
bear that
journey
in
to
mind.
next summer's premier football competition will resume on July 2nd with a Gold Cup preliminary stage involving 12 teams. The League A third-place finishers, League B second-place finishers, and League C winners will face off for the 3 spots remaining in the group stage. The 2021 Gold Cup preliminary stage will be split into 2 rounds and will be played in a single match, direct elimination format.
By the way, Trinidad and Tobago,
round
despite their
The
suspension,
12
they're still
participating
eligible
teams
for
will
the
be
Gold
sorted
Cup.
into 6
But if their ban
matchups.
is not lifted by December 18th, then they will be removed,
For
and
round
Antigua
2,
and Barbuda will come into the
The
mix.
6 round 1 winners will be divided into 3 predetermined matchups. Winner matchup 1 versus winner matchup 6. Winner matchup 2 versus winner matchup 5.
Yeah, we know that
And
part.
winner matchup 3 versus winner matchup 4.
You know what? Should write
At
this
the
again.
conclusion of the preliminary stage, the 3 round 2 winners will join the already qualified 12 CONCACAF nations and Qatar in the 2021 CONCACAF Gold Cup group stage.
We saw some inspiring performances in the League of Nations. Mexico was always strong. They won all their matches. And we saw some of the some stars growing in.
Have they announced the groups? No, they
Macías,
haventing,
and
but
that currently plays
they're just
over in
getting the
Chivas.
permutations
We
underway
also
so
saw the
everybody knows
rivalry
what's the
between
deal.
Canada and the United States
So not
begin
yet.
to reemerge. Canada and the United States, of course.
So I'll keep you
being
posted.
able to
Right now,
that
it's the
series.
preliminaries, and then after they'll do with the big boys.
See
All right?
the competition in
Here we go.
editions past.
As we say, here we go.
Was able to continue their progress after defeating a very impressive side, and also the growth as far as Panama's concerned, as they've been able to go and represent the region. Suriname was also one of the teams that qualified for their first Gold Cup, led by Cleo Filo Fluter.
Okay.
He was one of those players for 20. The 20-year-old was able to come through as long as
It's
we
possible,
see
you know,
those
because
types of growth, as
teams
we see
that
those types
sign
of players,
contracts with
those
Middle
amazing
Eastern clubs
histories
or
will
Asian clubs,
always be part
they have the
of
right
this
at any
world
point,
class
if there's an
of
offer coming their way,
to share
they can say,
next
well,
winter
you know,
rescue
there's an
next
offer from
next
Manchester
summer.
United, so I have to go there. So
So it's
anything
time
can
for us
happen.
to
But we're
see
we're
Carlos
talking about the
Fernandez
groups
as he
this
will
evening.
join us now.
Will you show what they
He
do in the
will
group? I
come
can't
through
do
the
that.
director of
I
competition
can't
of
do that.
CONCACAF
That will be
as
considered
he will
copyright.
kick
I'm
off
what
the
is called a
proceedings
reaction
here.
to it.
Now this is where everything starts getting good.
So this is where everything
This is
starts to get
the part
really,
where we start to
really
see the
interesting
first
now.
pieces
All right?
to the
Yes, we all know it's showing on YouTube. This is a reaction. This is how I react to it. We all know that, right? Well,
being
so
able
they're going to
to
start
see
the
procedures
preliminaries first
of
and
this
then
round.
go straight
So
into
it's
the
time to
group
say
stage,
hello
and then
to
we'll know
some
who
of
Jamaica
the
will play.
coaches that are
Like I said,
joining
Jamaica
us
will play one
from
of
a distance,
Mexico, USA, Costa Rica,
taking
or
part in
Honduras. One of
this
those
draw.
four
So
Jamaica will play. And if Jamaica plays Honduras, then we're going to play Qatar as well.
Give a welcome to Jason Roberts, the director of development. He will be part of this.
If you ask me what is my perfect draw, then it would be Jamaica, Honduras, Grenada, Qatar. That's what I would want, you know? That's what I would want. Yeah. So, this is what I'm doing. Coach Whitmore is actually at the draw in Miami. So, yeah. Is Qatar a good team? Of course. They're the Asian champions. They're the Asian football champions. Yeah. And football KM, I already answered that question. Qatar is the Asian champions for a reason. They beat Japan for a reason. So here we go.
To the many fans watching us at home.
Thank you, Jason. It will be a pleasure
So,
to
Jason
share
Roberts,
the stage with you again.
It's one of these
Director
moments
of
where we start to
Development
define here,
at
as
CONCACAF.
was mentioned by
Not
Alexi
Caribbean
Lindsay,
development, but
that
fun
we'll begin with
development
the
as a whole.
preliminary draw, followed by the group stage
Speaking
draw.
about his
But
experiences
let's not
with
get ahead of
Grenada,
ourselves. Let's explain
he didn't
how
actually play in a
this
Gold Cup, but he
process,
played
how this
especially
draw will go.
scoring against Costa Rica at home in the 2010 FIFA World Cup qualifiers and all of that. As you know, draws these days are all about pizzazz, excitement, sponsors, so it's a lot of detail.
The official draw for the 2021 Gold Cup preliminary stage will be carried out using a single blind system
Here we go.
involving one pot. Based on the CONCACAF rankings as of August 2020, the 6 highest ranked participating nations will be preceded in the matchups 1 through 6. The remaining 6 participating nations will all be placed in pot 1. The draw will begin by randomly selecting a sphere from pot 1 and placing that nation into
Is the
matchup
Qatar
1.
second-layer league that Damien Lowe
The
will be
same
playing in
process will be
better than the
replicated with the
USL
remaining
or
spheres, using
Yes,
matchups 2,
it is a better
3,
quality league.
4, 5, and 6, according to the order in which each nation is drawn. Once all participating nations have been assigned a matchup, the draw will conclude.
The last
Round 2
time,
of the preliminary stage.
time we got
The
Mexico
matchups have been predetermined and will be as
Mexico in our group.
follows.
was 2017.
Winner matchup 1.
By the way,
versus
this will
winner
be
matchup
Coach
6.
Whitmore's 5th Gold Cup appearance as
matchup
head coach
2
for Jamaica.
versus winner
He played in 3
matchup
tournaments,
5.
98, 2000, and 2003.
And winner matchup
2000,
3 versus
Jamaica got
winner
eliminated in
matchup
first
4.
round, 2003 quarterfinals,
The 3
and
round 2
1998, of
winners
course,
will
became
advance to
4th
the
in
group
that
stage
tournament.
of the
As a coach,
2021
2009 we got
CONCACAF
knocked out
Gold
the
Cup.
first round. 2011 quarterfinals, 2017 we went to the final, and 2019 eliminated at the semi-final stage.
Well, just to be able to recap real quick, so we already have the 6 preliminary teams based on their CONCACAF ranking, and also 6 teams
guys.
in pot number 1. Let's look at who are the teams.
Preliminaries first, so we're gonna find out, have an idea of who can get into the Gold Cup. Will it be Haiti? Will it be Bermuda? Guatemala? Remember, they're coming off of a FIFA suspension. They're back into the mix. Guadeloupe, TNT, Cuba. Those are the top 6 teams right now, but only 3 teams will be booking their tickets, so they said Trinidad and Tobago. But, yeah, you know, different accents have different pronunciations. Who can we get from England? Everybody will want. Why are we 5th in CONCACAF? Because they use the CONCACAF rankings index, not FIFA rankings for Gold Cup draw and seedings. The music they're playing is so annoying. Guadeloupe. Guadeloupe. Different accents, different pronunciations, I guess. I've been to Guadeloupe. Nice island. Very, very nice. Bermuda. Located to the east of North and South Carolina. Everybody's heard about the Bermuda Grass for golf and the Bermuda Triangle. Sleeping giant in the region alongside Suriname. French Guiana. A team that I was massively, massively impressed with in the mid-2010s, 2015, 2017. If they ever got Marc-Antoine Fortuna on board, brilliant. Guyana, they're getting some players from the conference, League 2, League 1. Different gravy, this guy in his outfit. Neil Dans and company. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, a couple of players for them plied their trade in Malaysia and company. Their hero is Ezra Hendrickson, Alex Anderson, who played at Seattle Sounders for a little period of time as well. Barbados, they have a chance as well. Never been to the Gold Cup, but they're in the mix. And they'll certainly be looking to rely on Hallam Hope, former England under-17 player, played for England at the under-17 World Cup in 2011 in Mexico. Montserrat, can you believe it? Montserrat has a chance to get to the Gold Cup. It's just fantastic, I'm telling you. Absolutely unbelievable.
We just have to find out who or what the where is now. So now it's time to begin the preliminary draw.
All right, guys, here we go with the preliminary draw.
Facing off against none other than
Haiti will play. Da-da-da-da. Let's see.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines, a team that
Haiti versus St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
In the past 24 years. So they'll be led by Cornelius Stewart.
All right.
See if they can repeat that feat.
Cornelius Stewart, of course. Yeah, good player. Good player. All right, tough game. Guatemala against Guyana. Wow. Whoa. This is going to be quite a game. Golden Jaguars. Boy, I tell you.
See who faces Trinidad and Tobago. That's matchup number
Next matchup,
3.
Trinidad.
Montserrat.
Trinidad against Montserrat.
Revelations of CONCACAF.
Wow.
Came up very short,
Wow.
very close to participating
Montserrat,
in the Gold Cup in 2019.
they're on the rise, I tell you.
Forster, of course, taking on Cuba, laying and waiting. French Guyana take on the Cubans. Will be seeking their second appearance in the Gold Cup after participating in the 2017 edition.
Cuba, French Guyana.
Guadeloupe, one of the teams that was a revelation a few years ago, waiting for
Guadeloupe, 2007 Gold Cup.
matchup
My.
number 5.
Guadeloupe.
Bahamas. One of
Against
3
Guadeloupe.
teams in
Wow.
these preliminaries that look to get to the group stage for the first
Guadeloupe
time in their
against
history, as
Bahamas.
They were one of the top teams in League C.
And finally, Bermuda.
I can give you a hint here, one with Bermuda just sitting.
Barbados.
Barbados, final ball just to get the formality out of the way under the guide of Russell Tappy. The
All right.
Barbados team actually won first place in Group A in League C of the Nations League.
So the preliminaries done and dusted. Haiti versus St. Vincent, Bermuda versus Barbados, Guyana versus Guatemala, Guadeloupe versus Bahamas, TNT versus Montserrat, Cuba against French Guyana.
Most importantly, and
All right.
especially given the way that
Prelims
2020
done
has
and
gone,
dusted.
any
Now let's
opportunity
go
to
to the
get
group
into
stages,
some
guys.
sort of qualifying to push themselves in there, that's great.
And any run of form can help them be able to propel themselves into the group stage.
Spot on. Yeah, you're right there. And also realize that any opportunity to represent
All
your
right.
country as well. And given the
So it
fact
could
that
be Haiti
some youthful talent
versus Bermuda.
Guyana, you know,
I give
Montserrat was
Haiti
the team that
the
you and I
nod to go
talked
to the
about
Gold Cup there.
spreading
It could be
possibility of
Guatemala
making it
versus
there.
Guadeloupe. I give Guatemala the edge there.
Haiti, who
And
was a
TNT
semi-finalist
or
in the last
Antigua, depending on
edition,
things,
also
versus
amongst
Cuba.
these group
I give Cuba. So
teams.
Cuba,
you know that the
Haiti,
depth of talent
and Guatemala.
is pretty impressive so far.
Those are the three
So
that I'm
now
looking at to
the
get to
6
the
winners will
the Gold
advance
Cup.
to the second round, and then the winners of those ties end
Yes,
up
I know,
going
hat-trick creation.
into the
We're now
group
going to the
stage
group
of the Gold
stages.
Cup.
I know that. Now is where things get really interesting. Now is
So
where
now
things
we
get
end up
interesting.
finding out, okay, the matchups, that's all fine and dandy. Now it's time to start looking at the group stages. Now we start looking at situations that are going on, and of course that we have none other than the coach of Guatemala, as he's one of the coaches that's giving one of the reactions, as they haven't been able to participate in the last 2 editions. Let's see what Amarini Villatoro is able to say.
All right. We'll see which group Jamaica is in.
I think the key is to be able to prepare ourselves as best as possible.
Guatemala, as we know, they started in League
Constant
C of the
and
Nations
consistent
League, and they
preparation
put
where they,
themselves in a scenario
just
where
beginning our cycles
they're on the cusp of a
and,
Gold
to
Cup
be able to
qualification.
understand our
Guyana,
concepts in a good way.
so they
It's
could
also-
play
It's not
Guadeloupe.
easy. It's not going to be easy.
Was
Of
there
course, we
any
know
other
that very
European
well.
teams other than Benevento
football
interested in
standpoint.
signing Damien Lowe?
And the
I already
distances
answered
have
that
been
question
able
already.
to, they've been reduced.
Come on,
both
guys. This is the Gold Cup
logistically, but
reaction.
also
This
from
is
a
Gold
competitive
Cup.
standpoint. Now
This
the
is
competition
Gold
is quite
Cup.
intense.
This is where we talk
so we
about the
know that if we come
country.
in at a
Come
very
on,
good level,
guys.
it can make a difference.
Come on.
So
Thank you,
what
Bravo
Amarini
Raid Squadron.
Villatoro
We
had to
spoke
say
about
about
this
that.
time and time and time again.
It is my pleasure to greet Kyle Erborn, the head coach of the Bermuda national team. All right, Kyle.
All right,
Bermuda's path
different
to the,
reactions
Gold
now
Cup
before
the
they
group stage is
do the
set.
group
What are
stage,
your
sure.
initial thoughts on your first round opponent and the introduction of the prelims in general?
Yeah, obviously we're excited about the draw. We were, I would say, a minute away
Yeah.
from making the Gold Cup proper, but we're going to try our best to make
It's
it
gonna
to
be
the
tough.
Gold Cup
It's gonna
for
be
the
tough.
second time in a
Hates
row.
Bermuda if
We're going to work hard out.
things match out.
Dig
It's
in
gonna be
and,
tough.
and try and make it
Really,
again.
really tough.
All right, thank you, Kyle, and all the best in the prelims. All right, hopefully we're going to see that
To the Champions League
incredible
group stage
Bermuda
draw.
pink jersey again in the group stage
If
of
a
the
Jamaican
Gold
was
Cup.
in
Good
it,
luck.
then yes.
All right, Carlos.
Yeah, let's talk about
contigo para
Antarctica.
que puedas
They're really good
presentar
at
So
football.
Kyle
By
Lightborn
the way, I
talking
don't
about
know
that,
how to
and it's
spell.
interesting to see how that bar's been raised, especially after the last participation in the Gold Cup. So glad to hear from both coaches. Now it's time to present a historic player within the CONCACAF region. He's represented Honduras on various occasions.
Pabon?
Welcome, Wilson Palacios.
Wilson Palacios. Tottenham Hotspur, Stoke City. Good player. A bit unfortunate what happened to his younger brother back in Honduras. Held his brother for ransom and he's just a teenager, 13, 14, and they just wouldn't return his brother. And they found his remains years later. Wilson Palacios talking about his experiences in the Gold Cup. Honduras went to back-to-back Gold Cup semi-finals. Haven't been to the final since 1991 though, but they're a team that I just despised playing, but
And as you see,
they're going through a period of
former
transition,
Spurs,
and
former
now is
wicked
the
man,
time that I
Wilson
want to play them.
Palacios,
Now is the time that I
legend
want
in
to
Honduras
really
football,
play them.
obviously one of the players that has been one of the most recognizable in CONCACAF over the last
Blackburn
decade.
is a good
and
coach. I
change.
wouldn't mind him for
So
Jamaica.
he's also been a participant of various Gold Cups
For youth
past.
teams, yes, of course.
So
Under
what
20,
does he
under
see as
17.
far as this tournament, how it's grown? I've been fortunate enough to be able to be a part of a tournament like this. It's always been difficult, and through the passing years, through the passing
All right,
editions,
so
we've
as a
seen how
reminder, guys,
competitive it's
Jamaica
become,
will be
and
in
the evolution has been great. It's been important.
face one of Honduras, Costa Rica, USA, or Mexico
Wilson
in the
Palacios
group
there giving
stages.
some
One of the
injection.
four.
It's interesting to hear those players from
It's gonna get
I mean,
really
decades past. I make it
interesting.
seem like it's been such a long time ago, but you see right here, the destiny of two teams
Really
have been
interesting.
able to be in the hands of two players. So now we're going to find out exactly what happens in the group stage. But first, we have to explain a little bit more.
The official draw for the 2021 CONCACAF Gold Cup will be carried out using a double-blind system involving 8 pots. Pots 1 to 4 will contain the spheres with the names of the participating nations, while pots 5 to 8 will each contain Group A,
Okay.
B, C, and D sphere.
Daniel Martinez, you know when it comes to draws,
Based
you
on
have
the
a lot of
CONCACAF
pizzazz
ranking
around
as
it,
of
you have a lot
August
of vibes, you have to
2020,
show videos
the 12
of
nations
previous
already
editions of the
qualified
Gold
for the
Cup.
2021
You have to get a
CONCACAF
player's
Gold
reaction
Cup
of what the Gold
have
Cup
been
means to the
distributed
man,
in
and you have
pots
to talk
1,
about different
2, and
things
3
about
as
what makes the
follows.
Gold Cup so special. So
Your
that's
4
why
highest ranked
draws are
teams:
always long.
Mexico, United States,
There's a reason that they try to drag it out.
Costa Rica, and Honduras. 4 next best ranked teams:
Oh, by the way, guys,
Jamaica.
whenever if you're watching on YouTube, bombo
Canada,
is the Spanish word for
Panama,
group.
and El Salvador.
Okay? So when you see
And
bombo
for pot
on your
3,
screen,
your 4
it
lowest
means
ranked
group
teams:
in Spanish, okay? Cool.
Martinique, Curacao,
Jamaica's in pot
Suriname,
2.
and Grenada.
Pot 2, not group.
The
A,
remaining
B,
3
C, or D, but
CONCACAF
pot 2.
participating nations,
So Jamaica will
to be
not
determined via the
face
preliminary
Canada,
stage,
will not
and
face
Qatar
Panama, and will not
have been
face El
placed in pot
Salvador.
4.
I don't mind not facing Canada
As
or
per the
Panama in the group
regulations
stages
governing the
at all.
draw, the top 4 ranked
don't mind.
nations have been seeded into their groups according to their ranking and will be identified in pots 1 and 5 as follows: Mexico and Group A in a red sphere, United States and Group B in a blue sphere. Costa Rica and Group C in a yellow sphere. And Honduras and Group D in a white sphere. Additionally, the spheres containing Qatar in Pot 4 and the Group D position in Pot 8 will be identified with a football sphere. The draw
Okay.
will begin by placing
Finally,
the Pot 1
we're
seeded
gonna get
nations
started.
in their pre-assigned groups using Pot 5.
At the end of the draw,
Once
I'll let you know
confirmed,
what
the draw
I
will
think about
continue
the draw.
by drawing the
I told
teams
you
from
at the
Pot
last
2 and determining each
in
team's
2019
group
when I was in
with a
Manchester,
sphere
England, that Jamaica
from
would go to the
Pot 6.
semi-finals, and that's exactly what we
The
did.
same
the
process will be
semi-finals.
replicated for Pots
And I think
3
if we get a
and
favorable
4,
draw,
using the spheres in Pot
then
7 and 8
semi-finals
respectively, with
is
the
where I
exception of
think we
Qatar,
will go.
which has been pre-assigned to
Worst
Group D.
case scenario, quarterfinals.
Once all
But it all
teams
depends on
have
how
been
Tapper will
assigned a
look at the
group,
tournament.
the
Will he
draw
look
will
at
conclude.
to blood new players in, or will he go with a settled 23, so that by the time World Cup qualifying start, he goes bam bam qualifiers and bam bam Gold Cup and bam bam qualifiers again.
So,
You know?
okay, so just to make sure, a couple of important points. The first one, the top seeds in each group, based on the pots, they've already been established based on the August 2020 ranking of FIFA. Second of all, the invited national team, Qatar, they've already been pre-assigned to Group D because of scheduling conflicts that they have, as they will be participating in other tournaments throughout the summer. So based on them being in Group D, they'll have the most rest possible. Third of all, once the draw has been
Qatar
established, the
pre-assigned for
calendar
Group
will
D
be established and
because
will
of
be
their
announced
assignments in Copa America, etc.
or in a time to be determined in the near
Yo
future.
hablo español en
With all
poco.
this,
Sí,
we're ready to
hablo
go.
español, francés,
So it is time to
muchos
start
más.
looking at the different pots. It's time to look at the different
It's time,
groups.
guys,
And
it's
it's
time.
time to start seeing the different matchups that could emerge in this group.
México. Grupo A.
United States.
United States. Estados Unidos. Or in French, les États-Unis.
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica. Costa Rica. Which means rich coast. They are a wealthy country. You know, the Spanish left quite a bit of wealth when they colonized the island.
Honduras.
Honduras. Well, Costa Rica is not an island, but a country. Honduras. Football brings them their happiness because crime and violence is high there.
Pot number one, we're ready to go. And as you
Here
mentioned
we go.
before, Devin, the different
Gold
colors,
Cup's YouTube channel.
different nations are already
Shingo
pre-assigned, and we'll get that
Yaboki
confirmed based on what's
97.
going on in pot number one and
Okay.
pot number 5. We'll have all that confirmed
All
in
right.
just a second.
Group A
Obviously, in the red sphere,
is
it's
Mexico.
the reigning champs of
All right, guys.
the
Mexico is in
CONCACAF
Group
Gold
A.
Cup, and they look
First team
to
in Group A.
win for a
Cool.
ninth occasion.
We know that for certain,
Red
but
sphere.
where?
Just to make sure that everything is in the right place, is Jason
And for
Roberts
formality,
shows us, of course, Group A.
Mexico is indeed in Group A. All right.
As the U.S., of course, being confirmed in pot number
The
1.
United
As you were in the
States
blue
are
sphere.
going to be in Group B. So what this means,
this is
guys,
just being
if
confirmed
Mexico
that
tops their group and the United States finishes second,
the
then
top
USA
seeded team
could face Mexico in the
in
quarterfinals of a Gold
is
Cup.
going to the
This is not
appropriate group.
set in a way like
Mexico
previous
Group A, as
tournaments
we mentioned
where they
before.
put aside each
United
other until the
States
final.
in
This means that USA could
As
meet
mentioned,
Mexico as
it's a
early
top
as the
4-1, and
quarterfinals
we've
of
got
the
Mexico,
tournament.
United States,
So a big
Costa Rica,
team
and
could get knocked
Honduras.
out early.
Of course, from a formality standpoint, Costa Rica in Group C,
Group A, Mexico.
Should be
Group
making their way
B,
to the table.
USA.
as they do. The Ticos, led by Keller Navas, they'll attempt to return to their first final match since 2002 Gold Cup. They found their ticket to the group
Group
stage
C,
after winning
Costa Rica.
their group in League A of Nations League.
And as we mentioned before, Group C will be for Los Ticos.
No, it's, you see, all the seeded teams have to be in separate groups. All teams in pot 1 can't face each other, so they're doing it by...
Look at the smile on Wilson Palacios.
What, you're
as
saying
the
you'd
only-
prefer Honduras to be in Group
He
A?
knows.
Yeah, I suppose.
And
Honduras
the national
is
team
in
he
Group
defended
D.
on so many occasions throughout his career. Obviously being in Group D. Honduras, of course, being part of that final back in 1991.
All right, guys. This is where things get interesting now.
Now we go to pot number
Pot 2. Pot 2, which
start
includes
looking at
Jamaica,
the
Panama, Canada, and El Salvador.
teams that
We're
are
going to know now
involved
who
in this
is going to be
particular
where.
pot.
And Jamaica's name will be drawn out of the hat. Some people saying Group C. I'm going to go and say Group D. I'm going to say Group D. Well, that's what I want. Jamaica! Leon Bailey. Got it through! Headed! Orgill! Jamaica lead! It's Orgill! I'm just imitating the commentary. I was at the stadium when we beat Honduras. Canada! Alfonso Davis! Jonathan David! It's the Canadians up and running! The Maple Leafs are ahead! It's red and white!
Panama.
Panama, 2018 World Cup winners! Back in the region after their World Cup heroics! A 6-1 defeat to England! I'm just messing around.
El Salvador.
I travel the world, so what do you expect? El Salvador. Been to the World Cup twice. 1982 and 1970. Is it 82? It was 82.
Pot number 2 is Wilson Palacios getting a little bit
82,
over anxious, wanted to
1982 and
get
1970.
the draw going.
All right, guys, here we go.
Which teams go where in this?
All right, the
now
first
some
team
interesting
drawn out of the
matchups
hat
develop.
is
It will be
Jamaica.
Jamaica, the Reggae Boys.
Which group will we be in?
As
Jamaica is out of the hat, guys.
Semifinals, 2
All
consecutive
right,
finals
it's
in
now down to
15
Jason
and
Lawrence, the
17.
Grenadan. Jason, I know you pull away or Rashawn Williams to play for Grenada, but don't you dare put us in Group A. I beg you, don't put us in Group A. Watch Jason Roberts now. Jamaica is in Group C. Costa Rica.
See, start off with Costa Rica.
Alrighty.
Their fates in the future for sure. And
All right. We played Costa Rica
to be fair, you take a
2015,
look down,
2009
you're gonna
World
be happy
Cup.
not to hit Group A and Group B. That's
Yeah.
of course going to be the main bingo you want to avoid.
But then they also start to see Group C, and it's starting to look very competitive as well. And Panama.
So,
is the
Costa Rica's in our
second
group,
team
guys.
Out of pot number
All right, can work
2.
with that.
So it'd actually be the 10th appearance for Panama in a Gold Cup tournament.
I can work with that.
2005.
What do you guys
and
feel? Let me know your
2013.
thoughts in the comments below.
Their best
Are you
results
okay
here
with
to reach
Costa
the
Rica? Are you
finals.
like, how you feeling about Costa Rica, guys? Let me know. Let me know. Panama goes in Group D. So Honduras, Panama, and Qatar.
So now things look kind of complicated there in Group D. That's starting to become an interesting group as well. Honduras, Panama, and we'll see how that group ends up playing out.
All right.
I want to also understand this means the United States or Mexico is going to get Canada, and we're going to find out right now.
Which makes that group just that much tastier, especially in Canada. Everyone with expectations so high,
Okay.
especially
Canada
with
is
the
either going to
generation
be
coming
in a
up.
group with USA or
Alfonso
Mexico.
Davies doing pretty good at
So
Bayern
2 North
Munich, I
American
guess you could
teams
say.
will be in one group. We can handle Costa Rica, says Bravo. Easy match
Of
for
course,
it.
from previous
All right,
performances, especially in
I
2019.
can work with it.
B with
Group
the
B.
US.
The North American Giants. USA and Canada, Group B.
Champions of the 2000 Gold Cup, 15th appearance. Jonathan David awarded the Golden Boot for those 6 goals
Group
scored.
B, USA and
Should leave our
Canada.
final participant.
Which means Group
course,
A
El Salvador.
will have El Salvador
I'll
and
give you a hint
Mexico.
where they're headed, Juan.
Give it a shot. Go ahead.
Of course, only the 1 ball left. They will.
All right,
insert
let's see who will
themselves
be our
just
teams from
underneath.
Pot 3. Now,
They've
Pot
already
3, as you
predetermined its
remember,
position with Mexico in
have an
Group A.
intriguing
They
set
will
of
join them.
teams. Let me just say something, because we're in Group
We're
C,
in
guys. So Group C.
Group with Mexico back in 2017.
9:30. All right. 8:30. Alright, cool.
Remember, they've reached the quarterfinal for 5 times, but never progressed past that stage.
Alright. Canada with USA.
Martinique.
So Martinique, Grenada, Suriname, we could face.
Curacao.
Or Curacao. If there's a team that I don't want to face, it's Curacao. If there's a team I want to face, it will be Grenada.
Suriname.
You know what? Yeah, put Curacao in Group B. Create a group of death there, so yeah. Let's do that. But if you put Curacao in our group, then boy, that means we could have a group with Costa Rica, Jamaica, Curacao, and Haiti.
Grenada.
Because remember, Bravo, Canada is not seeded in the top 4 in the region, so you're going to have 2 North American teams playing against each other, whichever way you look at it. Alright, guys. It's that time.
So we're back, and of course, Wilson Palacios is just mixing them around, just so, you know, giving them
Gotta
a
be
little
sure.
bit of movement. You
Let's
gotta
see what
be
the
sure.
first name will be out of the hat.
No such thing as too much mixing those pots. So
The first name out of the hat is Grenada.
Grenada.
Grenada is out, the team that I want. Let's see if they'll be going in Group C. Let's see if they'll be in Group
First
C,
time
guys.
since 2011.
Group C.
that
That's what we want.
Grenada
Group C is what we want from
participates
Jason.
in the Gold Cup.
Group C. Group C. That's what we want. Group C.
And
Jason, Group C.
he's like,
Group
just
C.
moving it around just to make
Group
sure
C, Jason. You're my brethren. Come on.
This
Group C.
goes just his
Jason,
way. No
Group
pressure
C.
for the former
Jason,
Grenada
Group C.
international.
Mr. Group C.
D.
Honduras, Panama, Grenada. Ah.
Wilson Palacios and Jason Roberts will be sitting down together during the summer, seeing Honduras and Grenada facing off. Comes up
Which
next.
means Jamaica will play one of Martinique, Curacao, or Suriname. We're gonna play either a Dutch-speaking team or a French-speaking team. All right, give me Martinique at this rate. I don't want to play Curacao or Suriname, honestly.
That's going to round itself out. Who will they be
Please.
joining with?
Suriname has been
Groups
drawn
A,
out of the hat, guys.
B, or C?
No, Jason, if you ever put Suriname in our group, if you ever,
We'll do the
Jason,
honors.
Jason, if you ever put Suriname in our group, watch me and you. I want to this, brother, man. I want him to you.
Costa Rica and Jamaica.
You really going to put Suriname in our
And
group?
the future of the 2021 Gold
I want
Cup.
to this, brother,
Interesting
man.
group that's lying.
The man go and put Suriname in our group and want to run against Eredivisie ballers them.
Interesting storylines. Now, Martinique or Curaçao? Who will it be? Curaçao. Curaçao returns for a 3rd consecutive edition. They were able to get the quarterfinals in this tournament in the last edition. Now, they can either go with Mexico or the U.S.
And remember, in
Debutants?
the final match, they actually did lose to the United States 1-0.
Ah, boy, I tell you. Curacao, which group I'm going to be in? Bet you them put in a Group B. That would be nice. Group A. Watch out.
No retribution to be had there against the United States there, as they will join Mexico and El Salvador in Group A.
Interesting, because those 3 were in the same group in 2017 as well.
That is
Also,
true.
keep in mind that Gus Hiddink taking over as Curaçao national team coach. And Martinique will be in Group B, where they were able to get to quarters.
Group
back
B,
in 2002.
USA,
3
Canada.
consecutive Gold Cup appearances for Martinique.
7
5 in total.
overall.
I think 3 in a row. That's pretty impressive for that squad.
All right,
course, they're
guys,
showing
we at
what's in
least know 2 of our
2002, the
opponents, because we're
quarterfinals
not
we
going to
just
know the
talked
3rd
about.
one, but at least we'll know. At least we'll know
now-
who it might be.
Of course, just trying to make
So-
sure. Group B. So U.S., Canada, and Martinique.
We're
in
not sure
Group B.
who the 4th opponent is going to be
Now
today as we
it's time
speak.
to see.
But all we know is that
Popcorn.
it's going to be who will be the potential winners.
Qatar. Ganador preliminar 7.
Well, Damian Lowe has tweeted and he said that he wanted Costa Rica in his group, so okay.
Ganador preliminar 9.
So at this point, it's the winners of the prelims that end up finding out which group they end up landing in. And as we mentioned, Qatar will be the first one. Qatar is an interesting
Qatar has
side.
been pulled out of the
Qatar
hats.
coming as the reigning Asian champs, have some interesting players to look at under Felix Sanchez Bas. We start looking
Alright.
at players like Akram Afif, who was one of the stars of the Asian Cup
Qatar, yep.
in the past couple of campaigns.
Qatar,
So
we
that's
know,
one of the
guys,
players
will
that can
be
become
in
a
D.
major star.
So at least Grenada knows
for
what their group is.
The Qataris in this upcoming Gold Cup. A player to watch, one of many.
Honduras, Panama, Grenada, and Qatar.
Devon, Group D, as we mentioned,
Lucky
for obvious
Grenada
reasons.
get
Of course,
to play
they plug
Qatar.
themselves
I
in there.
wanted
They'll have
to
an
play
interesting
them.
schedule to navigate for that group. That group
Yeah,
is probably a bit more
it is
wide
what
open
it
than
is.
people think it is, and trying to figure out exactly which direction it will head and who will join us when. Of course, this is going to be determined by the preliminary
Yeah.
matches we spoke about earlier. Preliminary match number 8 will join which group next?
So we'll see.
Any of these 4 teams really
All right.
Guatemala.
Guatemala,
Those
Guyana,
teams.
Guadeloupe, or Bahamas. Let's see if
Guadeloupe
it's
could be
gonna...
one of those teams.
All right, there we go. So we're gonna play the winner of the second tier, the second qualifying group. So we could either play Guatemala, Guyana, Guadeloupe, or Bahamas. And like I said, I'm thinking it's gonna be Guatemala, Guyana, Guadeloupe, Guatemala or Guadeloupe. So I think Guatemala is who we'll
Prelim
face.
9, it'll be prelim 7. I'll be in the group with Mexico. This is interesting because Haiti could come out of this group, and that ends up
We
being
saw
a bit
that
of a
went
joker.
last
Yeah,
time, absolutely.
ends up being a wild card there, and can throw a group into a bit of a flux.
But it won't be. It'll be the
Alright.
United States, Canada, and Martinique.
7 winners.
Now,
So
again, if it ends up being Haiti, it'd be a matchup that we saw in the last edition between them and Canada.
Group B, USA, Canada, Martinique,
That'd be traded
and
for Cuba,
either-
Montserrat, and French Guyana to be in Group A with Mexico, El Salvador, and Curacao.
and finally, guys, in Group A.
Group A.
And there we have it. There we have the draw. We're gonna recap now, guys.
The
Give me-
coaches know exactly where they're going to be.
Mexico,
who they're
Group
going
A,
to
guys.
face. Now,
Mexico, El
it's the
Salvador,
Preparation phase for them.
Curacao,
Thank you, Jason. Thank you.
and
Wilson.
either
We'll start analyzing this a
TNT.
little bit more, Devin. Your thoughts? What do you start looking
Montserrat.
at overall how the draw came out?
Cuba, French Guyana. All right,
Look at
we're
Group
done
A.
and
We
dusted
can look
there.
at
I like Group A, actually. I think that's a group that could turn some
Is there a
heads.
group
As
of death?
D probably is the most wide
Probably
open.
Jamaica's own.
You know, obviously you have
USA,
to turn your
Canada,
head with the United
Martinique,
States
and
Canada,
potentially
the rivalry that has started to reignite
Haiti.
itself. I still
Well,
question
that is the group
the
of death,
Canadian
actually.
national team what they're
Could be that,
capable
yeah.
of, and I
USA,
mean that
Canada,
in terms
Haiti,
of
Martinique
is John
is a
Herdman
good
the
group.
right guy to lead them?
Costa Rica,
Of course,
Jamaica,
Mark
Suriname,
Anthony
and
got hurt in the
potentially
last Gold Cup and
Guatemala.
exit out. So still some questions
Group A,
there.
Mexico, El
Group
Salvador,
C, a lot of
Curacao,
speed there, of course, it's always the
potentially
Caribbean nations.
Trinidad, Montserrat, Cuba,
You would
French
think that
Guyana.
Costa
So,
Rica should
there
be
we
the
have
one
it,
to step
guys.
up right away, though.
That's a
The
draw.
Reggae Boys,
Hope you guys
they've been
were
on a good run, though,
intrigued
in
by
the
it. Let me
Gold
know
Cup.
your thoughts in the comments
And
below
Group
about
D,
Jamaica's group. Are you
Honduras,
happy?
Panama, we know
I
the
think based on the
commodities
group
that
we
they
have
offer,
that Jamaica
but to
can
me,
go
Qatar would be
to
team
the
to look at in
semi-finals. That's where I
Group
think we
D,
can go
based on
based
their
on
recent
the
form,
group we have and if
based
we
on
call
the
up our
amount
best
of
players. Thanks very much
matches
for
that they've
tuning
had
in, guys.
together. Now
Really
it's time
appreciate
for
it. And
Tata
stay tuned on
Martino to give
Thursday
his
for Corona
reactions
Thursdays.
about this